Growing up, I wished I had a secret room in my house. I imagined myself going into that room, a room that only I knew existed, to get away from the family from time to time. But no matter how hard I looked, I found nothing. The people in this list, however, did find something, and not all of them proved pleasant. Here are 15 secret rooms people found in their homes. Number 15. The Note. When buying a new house, we want everything to be just perfect. That's why most people take their time in choosing their forever home. Jason and Carrie Brown thought that they had found the perfect home, but a surprise discovery sent them packing. While the young couple were starting renovations, they found a secret passageway cleverly hidden inside a bookshelf. They were actually quite pleased about the discovery. That is until they discovered a note left there by the previous owner. The note had an ominous message, telling anyone who would find it to immediately leave the house, as the entire property has been overrun by deadly black mold. Understandably, the Browns couldn't get out of the house fast enough, and they immediately sued the broker. Number 14. The Room of Mysterious Tapes. This story comes from Reddit user Lumberjack, well, there's no U in there. In his post, he said he was exploring his attic when he chanced upon a hidden crawl space which led to a secret room. He decided to investigate further, and at first the discovery seemed to lead to nothing. That was until he found a suspicious-looking black door at the end of the secret room. The door was locked, so he had to force it open, and when he did, he found himself in another room lined with soundproofing boards. There was also a safe, a briefcase, and a raised platform about the size of a bed. There was nothing of note in the briefcase, but inside the safe he found 6 unmarked VHS tapes. He was extremely curious about the contents of the tapes, but he didn't have a VHS player. So instead he handed the tapes over to the police. Unfortunately for our own curiosity, they never actually released the contents of the said tapes. Number 13. The Room of Civil Disobedience. When a group of Norwegian students decided to chip in to rent a house, they definitely got more than they bargained for. Before they moved in, their landlord told them an old rumored secret room that was supposedly in the house but was never found. Of course, upon hearing this, the friends started exploring. They searched high and low, finally ending up in the attic. They then found nothing, and they were about to give up when one of the guys leaned against one of the attic walls. And as he did that, it slid open, revealing the secret room on the other side. They found the room, but they didn't know what it was used for. That was until a journalist and a historian who asked them if they could see the room informed them that this was a secret printing press of the civil disobedience movement. It ran operations from 1944 to 1945, printing illegal newspapers campaigning against the Nazi occupation of Norway. Number 12. A Forgotten Place of Worship. The Farlow family lived in an old Victorian-era house in Shropshire, England. Ever since they first moved in, they were always curious about a rectangular metal grate covering the floor next to one of the walls of the house. They never got into seeing what was underneath it, though, until one Good Friday afternoon when the entire family was gathering in the house for a celebration. They unanimously decided to check what was under there. The grate was pulled open and a couple of people squeezed themselves through the hole. They were shocked to find what looked like an old chapel, hidden under the house. But just what was it doing there? It actually does make perfect sense to be there, though, because during the time when the house was built, which was around 240 years ago, Catholics were being persecuted, heck, even executed. The chapel may have provided practicing Catholics at the time a safe place to practice their religion. Number 11. Shelter High. Okay, you got me. This next secret room wasn't actually found in a home, but I thought the story was too cool not to tell you guys. This all took place in Placer High School in Northern Cali. Back in 2012, the place was undergoing some renovations. During renovations, workers suddenly unearthed a hidden room which turned out to be a fallout shelter. This shelter dated back to the Cold War, a time when private fallout shelters were all the rave. This wasn't just your ordinary shelter, though. This one was found fully stocked with food, water, medical supplies, and even toiletries, all of them stamped with the Office of the Civil Defense emblem. According to historians, the shelter was built to be used in case of a nuclear attack during the Cuban Missile Crisis. While we definitely know why it wasn't used, we may never know why it was sealed up and forgotten, though. Number 10. The Basement Kitchen. I've heard of outdoor kitchens and dirty kitchens, but I've never heard of a basement kitchen, until I started researching for this video, of course. Archie Graham Palmer just moved back into their old family home. He and his wife were going through the basement, which was piled to the ceiling with forgotten and unwanted belongings. Then they accidentally found an entire Victorian-era kitchen, complete with pots and pans hidden among the refuse. The kitchen was in perfectly preserved condition, and it looked like it could be used again with a bit of cleaning up. But what is a kitchen doing in the basement, though? As it turns out, the house was used in World War II by British soldiers. The basement kitchen was the perfect place for them to cook their meals while being protected from air raids. Number 9. The Secret Smoker's Room. Here's another secret room that a student found, this time in a house that his parents bought for him in New Mexico. When he moved in, he would sometimes hear loud banging noises from underneath the floorboards. He, of course, looked into the matter and searched the house. This was when he found a hidden door on the floor of the pantry. The door led to a secret basement, and in it was a desk, working lights, and, disturbingly, a recently smoked cigarette. Fortunately, though, since the discovery of the hidden room, the presumed basement dweller making all the noise never returned. Number 8. The Hidden Dungeon. When Daniel Carley moved into his new house, which was an old building built back in the 19th century, he never expected to find anything unusual. However, he quickly found something that was definitely not included in the lease agreement. It all started with him discovering a hatch with a handle on the floor. When he opened the hatch, he found a stone staircase leading underground. He initially thought it was just some unused storage space, but when he descended down the steps, he quickly realized that there was a large, sprawling dungeon underneath the house he was renting. The entire thing looks like it came out of American Horror Story. When he posted his find onto social media, a lot of people commented that a serial killer might have used that area as a kill room in the past. Here's to hoping Daniel doesn't find severed body parts while exploring, or the original occupant. Number 7. Another Cold War shelter. Reddit user John Sims, also known as Captain Arctica, wrote on the website that he recently uncovered the 1960s nuclear fallout shelter after receiving a tip from a previous owner of the Tucson, Arizona home. Sims wrote that based on the information he received, the shelter was built in 1961 by a company named Whitaker Pools. He found the entrance to the shelter while he was using a metal detector in his backyard. When he finally detected some metal, he did a bit of digging which unearthed the hatch. When he removed the hatch, he saw a series of crumbled steps leading down to the shelter below. The shelter itself was made of concrete and dome-shaped with a fiberglass ceiling. Unfortunately, the shelter was bereft of furniture and supplies, which would have made the find even more interesting. Number 6. The Secret Stairs. I don't know about you, but growing up in my childhood home, I've always dreamed of finding a secret bookcase door which led to someplace exciting. In this case, Imgur user 2ByteBrownie did find a secret bookcase door, and it revealed a spiral staircase. Now, if what he found with this staircase is real, it led to something very ominous. He and his brother were wrestling around when he accidentally pulled on the bookcase to reveal the stairs. He climbed down the stairs, and it led to a secret room filled with a whole lot of disturbing things. Empty wrappers of Halloween candy littered the floor, as well as a banana peel which looked like somebody had just finished eating it. He also did find a key, but had no idea what it opened. And the creepiest of all were the numerous dolls that inhabit the empty room. No word of the secret room's resident or residents have come back after the discovery. Number 5. The Unwanted Roommate. What is it with college students finding secret rooms in their houses? This is yet another case of that, but it's a little bit different from the others that we've discussed so far. How different? Well, they found a guy still living in the secret room. The guys who were legitimately living in the house thought that the house that they were living in was haunted. They constantly found doors oddly opened and saw house appliances turned on when they were sure they turned it off. They decided to get to the bottom of it, and their investigation led to a basement door that was always locked. When maintenance workers knocked the door down, they found a bedroom complete with framed photographs and textbooks. On the books were written the name Jeremy. Jeremy was apparently a previous tenant and decided to secretly live in the basement when he was forced to move out. In the end, though, Jeremy took all of his things and moved to a different house. Legitimately this time. Number 4. An underground railroad station. Alexander Polos of Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, always knew there was something special about her house. And after she found a hidden room underneath her house, her suspicions have been justified. She believes she has discovered a piece of true American history, a secret room below her basement that was once part of the Underground Railroad. She long suspected of the secret room beneath her house, so she had workers dig down her basement. What they found was quite a sizable room 14 feet below her basement. There was also a stone wall on one side with one stone jutting out that was particularly loose. But Polos hasn't wanted to investigate what's behind the wall too much, for fear of affecting the foundation. Number 3. The ammo room. It's always risky to buy an old house. On one hand, others find the age of old buildings quite appealing. On the other, these old homes come with a lot of history, and not all of them good. One such man took the risk of buying an old house. As soon as he moved in, he ventured into the basement. He did find it puzzling why there was a spot in the basement wall that was boarded up with a piece of plywood. He decided to take down the wood, and when he did, he was surprised to discover a hidden arsenal. The room was filled with piles of bullets for different kinds of guns. There were also a few gun cases inside, but all of them were empty. The only gun he actually found in the secret room was an air gun. I'll be back. I'm gonna go look for this house and buy it for myself. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's best pick is literally an illegal underground operation. However, with the legalization of a certain magic herb in most states in the US, operations such as these will definitely find themselves coming out of their hidden basements. What am I rambling about? Find out next with number 2. The Grow Room. In one Florida home, a man decided to dig down low to get high. Under a trapdoor in this Florida home's backyard, police found a complete and functional marijuana nursery containing nearly $400,000 worth of the devil's lettuce. The secret room was 416 square feet large and contained 133 growing plants, aside from the ones already harvested that were hung up to dry. And since this happened in 2012, when this kind of operation was deemed highly illegal, the homeowner was promptly arrested and sent to jail. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. The Secret Prison Cell. When Christian Perez, a home inspector in Tampa, Florida, thinks about the hidden room he discovered during one home inspection, he still gets goosebumps. The room was small and dark, tucked behind what only appeared to be an exterior wall of the attic, and contained a small bed, a strangely annotated map of the city, and an array of empty food cans as well. The homeowners who had lived in the house for 25 years said they had no idea it was even there. While no one knows what the room was exactly used for, Perez and the homeowners speculate that someone was once held captive there. Do you have a secret room in your house? Let us know down below in the comments. Also, feel free to check out the channel's other amazing videos. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody!